Okay, we're live.
I know, I love how she's. Stood and watched out. You're there, you're yeah. Or just. I can put her through. I have a circle. At the time. There it is. Somebody took it from me last night. Sure. Yes, for sure. Yeah. And they finally got that.
Well, I reckon you give a minister's wife to that. Yes. Yeah. Quiet. Right.
Good morning. Let's try that one more time. There we are. Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning.
I'm glad to be here with you one more time in St. George. Another beautiful Sunday in which we get to celebrate life and all there is. So if you wouldn't mind joining with me in song just for a few minutes. There is a space in my heart. I find the truth. I find me in you. A truth beyond what you can see now. When we are one, we bring more good about. No matter who or what you call yourself, where you come from, yeah. There is a place in the world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we use matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah, there is a place in this world with open arms right now. Yeah, welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Breathe in, out, and slowly feel all around you. All that you feel, all that you know, let it go. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. No matter where, we're much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Welcome, welcome.
Going, please. Donnie Lee, folks. Wonderful tune. And am I on? Am I on? Am I on? Am I on? Check. Alex. Peace and love. 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 Well, we're gonna work on it.
We're getting
I'm
there.
gonna make sure I still have it on. There we go. Last time I was telling them and I had it off, so that's never gonna. All right. Good morning, folks. How are we doing? You are welcome here. Yes. Beautiful song, beautiful sentiment, and I believe really that is what sums up CSL St. George. You are welcome here. We're on this journey together. Welcome everybody at home. I'm gonna say hi to my wife who's home taking care of herself. Self-care, very important, especially this time of year. Yes?
Yes.
Absolutely, always, of course. But of course, as a counselor, I am aware that holidays bring up a lot of grief and despair and struggle and strife. And this is why having a community that supports you is just so darn important. So thank you for being here. I would like to welcome anyone new for the first time, although I'm looking around. I don't know if I see anybody new for the first time, which is quite all right. That means the house is full of old friends. Thank you. Let's give ourselves a round of applause for all showing up. Yes, yes, yes. All right, so just moving on. We don't have any, you know what, Nadia, let's give a 2-minute instrumental. And why don't we just take time to meet and greet ourselves for a couple minutes, shall we? We are a community. So please do that right now. Say hi to your neighbor. Hello to everybody at home.
How you doing?
All right. If we can begin to return to our seats, please. Thank you. Donnie, beautiful again. And so, other than Donnie, which we have already recognized, I would like to take a moment to recognize Bill Smith behind the camera there. Thank you. And with Stanley, be doing our audio today. He's got the day off of music, but he can never really pull himself away, can he? I would like to thank, and I want to make sure it was Diane who was helping us in the back. Who was with you, Diane? Donna. Thank you both. Folks, this doesn't happen without our volunteer, without your help. So let's give everybody a round of applause. And our teachers. Yes, this is a community. And I know we put out the event. If you haven't, first of all, I want to shout out to Marita for an amazing newsletter. Just eye-catching creativity, pulls you in. Thank you so much, because I know that takes time. Absolutely. And so, yes, one of the announcements was that our core council is open and accepting applications. We have room, and we're looking for you. One of the best parts about being on the core council is you get to help make the important decisions. We have a lot of fun. It's not a huge time commitment. I will say more than anything, it's a spiritual commitment. Because when you join something, it's always on your mind, it's always in your heart. And we're talking, talk title today is Hearts Ablaze. And my goal is to build this community with Hearts Ablaze for this community. That's the only thing that will ever grow. Do you agree? Yes. Excellent. Okay, well, let's move into our first song, shall we, Donnie?
Absolutely.
I want to hear some more music.
So I'm going to teach you a little bit, because I don't believe in entertainment. I believe in joining together and raising energy and vibration. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So this song is Call and Response. And so I'm going to sing something, and I want you to sing it back to me, okay? So this is your part. I don't know what you've come to do.
I don't know what you've come to do.
Now, the next part goes, you and you and you and you.
You and you and you and you.
That's right. And you point to somebody, look at somebody when you sing that part. Let's try that part again. You and you and you and you.
You and you and you and you.
There you go. And then we sing it again. I don't know what you've come to do.
I don't know what you've come to do.
You and you and you and you.
You and you and you and you.
Good. That's the first part. Now, here's the next part. I'll say, I've come to clap my hands, and you say, my hands. Okay? Yep. Then I'll say, I've come to stomp my feet, my feet. Okay? I've come to raise the praise, the praise. That's right. Help me raise the praise, praise. You got it? Let's try that part. I've come to clap my hands. I've come to stomp my feet. I've come to raise the praise. Help me raise the praise. Just praise right there. Right? Okay, you got it? All right. Let's try this song. We'll have a little fun. Feel free to get out of your seat, because I will myself. Clap your hands. Oh, here we go. You ready? Say, I don't know what you come to do.
I don't know what you come to do.
You and you and you and you.
You and you and
Help me say, now I don't know what you come to do.
I don't know what you come to do.
Oh, you and you and you and you.
You and
Here we
you
go.
and you and you.
Oh, I've come to clap my hands. I've I've come to stop my feet. I've come to raise the praise. Help me raise the praise. I've come to clap my hands. I've come to stop my feet. I've come to raise the praise. Help me raise the praise. Oh, I don't know what you come to do. Say, you and you and you and you. Ooh, I don't know what you come to do. Oh, you and you and you and you. Oh, I've come to clap my hands. I've come to stomp my feet. I've come to raise the praise. Help me raise the praise. I've come to clap my hands. I've come to stomp my feet. I've come to raise the praise. Help me raise the praise. I've come to clap my hands. I've come to stomp my feet. I've come to raise the praise. Help me raise the praise. I've come to clap my hands. I've come to stomp my feet. I've come to raise the praise. Help me 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 raise the praise. Yes, yes. Raise the praise. Very good. At this time, we will now have our flames.
Flames?
Sir, correct? Is that next?
No, you got that, sorry. I'm on, yes, yes. Okay. All right, we raised it, now we'll just cool it down. I'm really talking to myself. Okay. So we perform the Flames of Faith ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life. We acknowledge that all peoples, all things, all beings come from one great universal presence, which we like to call spirit, but it's not limited by that name. So we first light the unity candle, which represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. With a gong, then we breathe. We light a candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light we light a candle honoring Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light a candle acknowledging centers for spiritual living and all forms of new thought, the metaphysical path of a personal relationship of healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light the next candle for inclusivity, affirming that those that are seeking a stronger life, knowing and understanding divine love, let me say that again, affirming that those that are seeking a stronger knowing and understanding of divine love are welcome here. There is nothing outside of God. You are welcome here. And we now light the healing candle and invite you to silently offer into the light the names of loved ones, knowing that they are now the perfect expression of Spirit's eternal wholeness and love. Knowing all is well, perfect, whole, and complete. And so it is. So it is.
I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, help you awaken to the wonder that you are. I'm here to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you that you're truly loved. Would you tell somebody that now? I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awaken to the wonder that you are. I'm here to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you that you truly are. A practitioner is coming now.
I'm privileged to stand before you this morning as one of your practitioners. We pray positive, meditative, in the first person because we're all one. Beautiful form of prayer we've been given. All prayer is accepted, but this is something we share personally. So join me in this sacred moment of prayer. I stand on this sacred ground. Our being here, knowing the Spirit is here, makes it sacred. Gathering together in the Centers for Spiritual Living community, I am grateful for each person here, for each warm, loving spirit that each person brings. I am grateful for this philosophy, for the positive thinking, the positive way of life that it gives me. I'm grateful that I can remind you that you are truly loved, knowing that God is always by us, always loving us as that creative source. Knowing today that the words that are spoken are guided, are inspired, and we can take them into our hearts and better ourselves, our lives, and our community, making all feel welcome here. In this beautiful season of Christmas, I feel the light of the candles and the lights on the porches, representing the light of the world, and knowing that that light is for each of us to achieve that Christ consciousness. and ride that path to loving, warm, healthy, safe, prosperous, all the things that we seek for happiness and joy. Blessing those who are in service to us, and to those who are interested and wanting, we welcome you into our service, into our volunteerism, into our home and family. And as a family, we give gratitude, and together we say, and so it is. Okay, no break, here we go. How about a story today? This is from Spiritual Passages. It's an email that comes out by Reverend Scott Aubrey. In a forest, a pregnant deer is about to give birth. Visualize this. She finds a remote grass field near a strong flowing river. This seems a safe place. Suddenly, labor pains begin. At the same moment, dark clouds gather around, and above her is lightning, and it starts a fire. She looks to her left and sees a hunter with his bow extended and pointing at her. To her right, she spots a hungry lion approaching her. What can the pregnant deer do? She is in labor. I've been in labor 3 times. I know she doesn't want to get up and move. Will she perish to the hunter's arrow, or will everything be burnt by the forest fire? Will she survive? Will she give birth to a fawn? Will the fawn survive? Will she die a horrible death at the hands of the hungry lion? What a picture. She is constrained by the fire on the one side and the flowing river on the other, and boxed in by her natural predators. You ever felt like that? Oh, there's so much. What does she do? As she focuses on giving birth to a new life, a sequence of events unfold. Lightning strikes and it blinds the hunter. He releases the arrow and it zips past the deer and strikes the hungry lion. It starts to rain heavily and the forest fire is slowly doused by the rain. The deer gives birth to a healthy fawn. In our life too, there are moments of choice when we are confronted on all sides with negative thoughts and possibilities. Some thoughts are so powerful that they overcome us and overwhelm us. You ever feel like that at all sides, there's no safe place to go? What am I to do next? Remember, we are not alone. We can learn from the deer. The priority of the deer in that given moment was simply to give birth to a baby. Having given birth myself, again, I say, yeah, I didn't want to be in that situation. You have to focus on what you're doing. But the moral of the story to me is that if we do what we know we should do and feel that we have to do, God will always be present. There was something magical that happened in that moment with just crisis surrounding. We can experience that too. God will always be present. That presence may manifest itself with an act of nature, what seems like a lucky break, or even a visiting angel or spirit guide. You can find it when you really need it, if you look in the right place. We are never alone. Namaste.
Namaste.
All right. We've got another song here, and this song is special. You don't have to do a lot of work in this one, but I will invite you to sing the chorus when we get there. And it simply says, put your light on, put your light, put your light on, put your light on. That's it. Very repetitive. Put your light on, put your light on, put your light on, put your light on. Let's try the song. Here we go. I hope you find what you're looking for. I hope you get what you're wishing for. I hope you see what I see when I see what I see in you. I hope you stumble and fall in love. I hope it's all you're dreaming of. And every day is a day, Spirit's heartbeat beats in you. And when darkness arrives, in the still of the night, and there's no one inside, put your light, put your light, put your light up, put your light, put your light up, put your light, put your light up, so I can see your flame. Put your light up, put your light, put your light up, put your light, put your light up, so I can see your flame. I hope you laugh and you fall in love. Hope your heart never leads you wrong. I don't know where this life flows. I don't know the highs and lows. You need it leads you home. And when darkness arrives, in the still of the night, there's no one inside. Put your light up, put your light, put your light up, put your light, put your light up, put your light, put your light up, so I can see your flame. Put your light, put your light up, put your light, put your light up, put your light, put your light up, so I can see your flame. So I can see your flame. So I can see your flame.
Give a round of applause for Donnie Lee. Wonderful. Yes, thank you, Donnie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Am I on? I don't sound on. There I am. Yeah, well, too much on. Yes, there can be too much of me, believe that. Let's take a breath, shall we? So this week's talk title is Hearts Ablaze. And, excuse me, as I mentioned last week, we were talking about standing on solid air. And I had mentioned that part in the book Illusions by Richard Bach, where the guy was swimming in the earth. Well, now we had that physical part. Now we're going to go within. We're going to go into that heart space, that love space, that space where when we talk about going inside and communing with the Spirit, with God, with heaven, with Christ consciousness, when we meditate, when all is quiet and there is peace, we think of our heart, that heart space. And when we talk about heart, I want you to recognize that we're talking about feeling, right? Because we can talk with words. In other words, we can't teach feeling. It has to be felt. And we feel it through our experience. And we feel it within our emotional body. And, oh, you know what? I need the remote. I'm sorry about that. Okay, thank you. And so Jill Bolt Taylor reminds us that we humans are feeling creatures who think rather than thinking creatures who feel. And when we get caught up into the thinking first, that tends to be when we come across what we would call resistance, separation, because we listen to our mind and maybe our ego, and our ego can only deal with what has happened in the past, and it tries to make sense out of the present. But the present moment can only be felt. Yes? So when we feel like, Sue had a great reading talking about being lost in despair, when we feel like the world is happening to us, when it's against us, when we lose our faith, okay, we're caught up in our thinking action. And it's not wrong. We have both for a divine reason. It's about using them well and balanced. But I want us to each recognize when we get back, what does that feel like? When all of a sudden we get that spark of hope, what does that feel like? We don't say, well, how are you thinking today about hope? We say, are you feeling hopeful? Are you feeling joyful? Are you feeling love? And so going into this heart space where we talk about the spark of spirituality, the spirit itself, lies. And we recognize that it's everywhere present, but in this space that I call Joe, I feel it in my heart. Ernest Holmes says, that which is felt cannot be taught, while that which is taught can be felt, while that which is taught can be felt. So I can teach you, and as a counselor, this is really my whole role, especially working with students. I know what it feels like. I can teach you, in essence, of the facts. You have to open that heart space. And to get someone there when they are lost in despair, it can be a long journey. One of the things I will do with my new students, and again, I work at a credit retrieval school, meaning everyone who comes to me is behind. And they're usually not behind a little, usually at least a year or two. Sometimes they don't have any credits and it's their 4th year of high school. So there, I give them a picture with a saying, and there's a mountain on it. And I talk about their mountain. Their mountain is X amount of credits high, and they feel disconnected from them. And I kind of give a little speech. But the last thing I will do is I ask them to close their eyes. And I ask them to imagine that it's graduation day, the last day of school, and you are standing on the side of the stage, and you hear your name called, and you walk across the stage in your cap and gown. You look up, you can see yourself on the Jumbotron. You can hear your family screaming for you, and you shake hands with the principal, and you are given your diploma. I don't say, what does it? I say, can you feel that first? I've had 2 students that said no, which means I know I have a lot more work to do. But the other ones, they smile, they nod. And then I say, what does that feel like? It feels great, it feels awesome. When they're in their heart space. Their heart is on fire. It's just a matter of turning them, leading them to that truth that I already know and hold for them. That's what we do within this community. That's what we do first for ourselves, because we have to teach ourselves first. And then we do this as a community for others. The astrophysicist talks about, Neil deGrasse Tyson says, rational thoughts never drive people's creativity the way emotions do. Right? So I could have just told him, so here's what's going to happen the last day of school, you're going to graduate, you'll have your cap and gown, we'll send you the ticket, right? Heartless, in essence. There's no feeling in that. I'm talking to him. I'm talking at him. Whereas when I ask him or her to go within, they don't have to, but they choose. They go, they quiet their mind, they go in that heart space, and they feel that spark of divinity that is within them. They feel the hope. And then I tell them, the better you and I do this, the better you're going to be, because I'm going to hold you accountable. So when I talk about it, say, I haven't seen your name come across my desk, which means they haven't been passing classes. I'm going to call you out on that. Are you okay with that? Absolutely. They all want it. Sitting in the room the first time. Then when you call them out, sometimes it's a different story, but they appreciate that. And we have to do that with ourselves and with each other. Again, not just say it. Sometimes we feel it, but we also have to be recognizing our results. Is it showing up the way that we see it in here? And what this does by going within, as we recognize the feeling, the greatest feeling, which is what? Love. Absolutely. And we're not talking about Hallmark story on the network channel, love. We're talking about the love that when I drove up this morning, I was walking down just this little hill here from the parking lot, and I could see across, a great distance that you're just in, how do I describe that? I'll say I'm in love with life. I recognize I bent down and I was led to just touch the rock, to ground myself, to know that I am here. There's a love there that I can't teach you in essence. I can tell you with words, right? I can come up with the most creative words, but we have to feel this for ourselves. And Ernest Holmes himself talked about love being the essence of treatment. That is what practitioners, our spiritual coaches do and are well versed in, is knowing love exists within you and you as love, and that it's everywhere present. So if you're kind of not feeling it, then we ask you to believe in our belief for you, because there's only one mind. Feeling can't be taught, only felt. Yes, there we go. She says, it is through love that we undergo a spiritual alchemy in which our stony hearts are transformed to gold. It is love that pulls a rose out of a sea of thorns, gives wings to a caterpillar, makes granite into rubies, and reminds us we are far more infinite than our weight. It is through love that the heart reaches God. Breathe that in. That's the kind of love, when we talk about today, Hearts Ablaze, that I'm talking about. The unknowing and yet personal, infinite and eternal and yet present God, Spirit, whatever you call it, universal source. I like to call it that too, because meaning is there's only one source. And I know it as a source of love. I know it as a source of wellness, of joy, of hope. It's all there. And we are collectively on this journey rediscovering ourselves as that magnificent self. So let us allow ourselves to feel that, because we must allow ourselves, we must give permission to ourselves to feel our heart ablaze. And a heart ablaze means that we are open and aligned with this life of love that I'm talking about. That is a recognition. And when we're not heart ablaze, it's kind of, remind me, Bill, I'm pointing at you. I kept using the dimmer switch, and you wanted to use a different term. What was it? Do you recall?
The enlightener switch.
The enlightener switch. Instead of dimming it, we're just gonna, what level of enlightenment are you at, or awareness, right? And so again, it's always on. God is always on in its fullness, and yet loves us so much, it allows us to take it in chunks, take it where it's at. So even if right now the words that I'm saying aren't touching you at all, then take a step from where you are at in the direction that you want to go. Begin to ignite that fire. And really what we're doing is recognizing it's already lit. And we begin to feel its warmth and see its light. David Rico says, an open heart is boundless. That is unconditional in its scope. Once we are awakened to love as the lifelong purpose of our hearts, doesn't that sound good? Love as the lifelong purpose of our hearts, then feeling love for all the world becomes the meaning and greatest joy of living. What if our job, your job, was simply to wake up, feel the most amount of love and joy you could, and share that uniquely in the best way possible for you? That's what he's talking about there. And so just as we talked about last week, talking about solid principles, standing on firm air or solid air, we also need to stand in this idea of having the faith of God, not in God. So we need to know principle, right? That's the thought process. And we need to stand and have the faith of God, which is the only way we can do that is to feel it, right? Because if we don't have that balance, then we tend to live in either a purposeless life or one that's in complete chaos, or at least feels dysfunction, discomfort. With the fire of passion, then we stay aligned in our hearts. Passion again, when we have that thing that we do when we wake up. So tomorrow, no matter what I'm doing, I'm going to wake up and prepare for my day at the school. I'm going to work at now going into it with more passion. When I wake up, I have my routine, which is great, but I'm not always recognizing the passion, the energy. I'm not always in my heart space. I wake up when I get out of my car. When I arrive, I should say, and I get out of my car, I say good morning, and I greet the building, and I greet the parking lot, and I do that, but it's still, as I was writing this talk, I'm still kind of in my head. And so I'm not sure what I'm going to say yet, but I'm going to do something, think something. What I'm going to do is kind of like we do in prayer. The first step is we recognize all is well, but then we unite ourselves with that. And so therefore I can go into that heart space and bring that blazingness with me. I'm just going to pray for my people I work with, because when I'm on fire, you can, woo, I'm up there. And it's a fun time of year as it is. So a simple practice again is, where are we? Are we in that heart space? Are we operating from a sense of purpose? Are we operating from our feeling nature, okay, and knowing the truth and having the faith of God? We walk with that purpose, knowing really that when we're aligned, no matter what we're doing is on purpose and present in the moment. I love this quote. John Wesley says, "Light yourself on fire with passion, and people will come from miles to watch you burn." Right? I love that. Oh my goodness. That is memorable. So, moving from passion and from principle and purpose, I want to recognize some of the struggles that we have, because that flame that we have, it's always burning. It can never really be truly put out or even dampened. But we tend to do this again. And we do this with how, when, why. This is our time. When do we tend to dampen that flame, that blazingness that we have within ourselves? Fear, at number one, 100%. Can you have faith and fear? I don't think so. So therefore, we're believing in the power of something other than God itself, and that somehow could change our life. And in essence, it can, because we believe it can. What else tends to keep us separated from this feeling nature of God?
Ego,
Ego. Can you expand on that?
getting too much inside ourselves.
So, okay. Right, just me, and me, and my world revolves right here, and you're just kind of happening in it, right?
Edging God out.
Edging ego, right, edging God out. Not recognizing our unity, our oneness with not only God, and recognizing God as everyone before me and everything. But,
challenges, doubt.
okay. And doubt is different than fear. Doubt, there's a sense of hopefulness in there, but I'm just like, I kind of believe, but I kind of know. You're kind of walking on that fence. And that's also happens when we're not so much in the feeling nature. We're trying to figure things out. We can't really, the little we, the ego we, can't see it. So then I don't tend to believe it. And then, of course, I won't see it if I don't believe it, right? We see it when we believe in it, when we align with it. And so it's important to face our inner shadows, do that shadow work, recognize the pain, become aware of it. Okay, we're not going to necessarily avoid it, but we can recognize what it truly is. It's an experience that is knocking us off of our amazing spinning orbit for a little bit. Woo, we got kicked off the merry-go-round. Now, most people don't quit after that, do they? You watch little kids, they just say, well, slow it down a little bit, let me get up to speed, hop back on and hang on for another ride. When we have the faith of God, that becomes easier and easier and easier. So again, the light is always shining, but we often choose to simply live in the dark because we give power to our circumstances. We give power to what's on the outside and not recognize that we have any sense of power within us. Helen Keller talked about living life daringly. How did she say? She said, life is either a daring adventure or nothing. Dare to be Great, a wonderful book. If you need a read, Dare to be Great. Some people will say, how can you be great? Have you looked at what's happening? Let me touch some nerves right now. Trump's in office. Can you believe what's happening? And if it was the other way around, she's in office, can you believe? We're giving the power to what's outside. There's one source, yes? Are we recognizing that source as intelligent? Yes. Are we recognizing that source as the only source of love? Yes. Then why do we fear? Why do we get so caught up in the would'ves, could'ves, should'ves, and that we literally cut ourselves off from that eternal flame of love that is life itself, that is expressing? And we can go on. Now, it's not to say that when things are happening in life, we don't pause and maybe we feel a call to action, right? That is for each of us to decide. Okay? Some are called to simply go within, meditate, and connect with God and know that things are happening for the best and the highest good. Some are called to take action, to literally go out and march, to speak, to write their newspaper, to blog, to talk, to spread the word, whatever it is. Make sure when we do this that we're doing this not through ego, but through that feeling nature of being already aligned with principle and taking action that has no resistance to it at all. So we are each, nay, you are each, expressions of divine love. Do me a favor, close your eyes, and I want you to just take a breath and receive that again. And together, and with your eyes closed, say, I am an expression of God's divine love.
I am an expression of God's divine love.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am one with all.
I am one with all.
I am love being manifest here and now.
I am love being manifest here and now.
Yes, yes. And for those that don't know the fancy word manifest, that means created right here and now. Again, having that passion, knowing that truth, we are powerful, yes?
Yes.
We walk in the light and love of the divine always. And when we, in essence, make friends with, when we are willing to bring the pain into the light, it is transformed. I cannot tell you how, other than consciously, we recognize something that can be so painful and yet so loving at the same time. I feel for my sister and her family. On Monday, they had to put down their 12-year-old dog who within 10 days went from happy and healthy to a skeleton. And so it was time. 4 days later, they put down their 12-year-old cat. Same thing. It went from they brought it in, it wasn't eating, and it was like a laundry list of things. Now she's in pain, yet she holds the love of them and who they were and how they affected her and her family. So while we may not be able to function well with fear, pain is a part of, in essence, love and life, because what we're doing is our pain acknowledges the love that we have and know that we are when somebody else or something else is gone. We believe it's gone. Even if we believe that, life lives on, and we do, they're not here right now in this form, so it is a drastic change in the relationship with the other, yes? Going back to the book Illusions, Richard Bach, another story he talks about within there is this group of, let's say, creatures who live in a stream. And for the longest time, their whole focus was to hang on because the stream was flowing. And nobody ever came back when they let go down the stream. Finally, a group of them decided it's got to be better than this, because this life is just one of hell for them. They couldn't move. It was constant worry, constant fear. And then what do you think happened once they let go? Well, initially, they got bumped around quite a bit. You can imagine it's a new territory. It's new space. It's what is going on. It's the unknown. But eventually, they just let themselves go with the flow. And then the stream took them. And they didn't encounter any resistance. And even when it was And when we practice principle, when we go within our heart and we live on purpose, the tough spaces they don't get so deep anymore. I can tell you that's one of the biggest benefits that I can share with others, that my practice of this faith, it's not that I don't come against hard times, including whether it's something happening to me or me just recognizing that I've grown and not always liking what I have grown from, you know what I mean? It's such just more of a speed bump than a hill or even a valley or even a canyon, because we've all had those days. So what is going to help us go with the flow? When we talk about passion, to me, passion leads into dreams. We start dreaming. We start playing in the imagination that is infinite, that is ours, it's personal. And at the same time, we know that our mind is the mind of God. So literally, we are playing within the mind of God. So I'm going to have you do another experiment. If you would, close your eyes. And I'm going to give you 10 seconds. You don't have to name it, but to yourself. I want you, in your mind, list as many things as you can that you feel are keeping you from living a better life. Go. Okay, stop. Open your eyes. Take a breath. Close your eyes. And now 10 more seconds to think of the dreams that you would want instead. Go. Okay, open your eyes. Did anybody find it seemed to be so much easier thinking about what was going wrong than what I would rather have? That's 10 seconds. What do you think we do all day long? Where do we put our attention? Where do we put our energy, our focus? Are we really using and recognizing the love that we are? This little band, I'm telling you, complaint-free world, I'm probably going to snap this one soon. I've already been through one. Haven't gotten through a day, and I don't say that proudly, but I will say it with the sense that I am improving, and I'm still improving. And even though it's frustrating, I do recognize that I'm becoming more aware of what I really would rather experience. And I've noticed a positive change in the conversations that I have at work. And that's where, of course, I spend 8 hours a day. And then still working on that drive home, but it's better. I will say it's better. I get stuck at lights and I no longer just sit there and curse to myself in my car. I just breathe and look around and try to stay focused. And I do feel better. I notice I do wake up in a better mood, that I'm just questioning, why is it so easy? And now I question, what are my dreams? If I've been focusing on so much on what I don't want, how do I let that dream become alive through me? So my point is, often we know our pain better than we know our dreams. And that is obviously not living in balance and not living in harmony. Have we lost the ability to dream? We get so busy and we're so used to instant gratification. I don't know about you, but I sat down the other day specifically just to dream, let my mind go, and holy cow, it went all over the place. That's why meditation is so important. I realize I need more of that just to be able to calm the monkey mind, go within that heart space, and allow myself just to dream. What would I want to experience? Because if I don't know, how can I expect it to show up? All right. So Ernest Holmes has an idea of what a dream is. He says, there is an irresistible potential pressing against everyone for self-expression. If we listen, we shall hear it, not as a voice, but as a feeling, as a divine urge to express. Know what's just as much fun as dreaming for yourself? Watching other people dream and have theirs come true. Would you agree?
Yes.
Kind of, it's kind of like that shift at Christmas time when all of a sudden you find more joy as a young person giving instead of receiving. It's almost like, no, and my kids have gotten to that spot. Michael, as you know, he's off doing his schooling for the Marines. And all he keeps talking about is coming home, and I got so much good stuff for you guys. He couldn't wait, and he sent us one ahead of time because he knew it was going to help us so much. And God bless him, he bought us a Roomba, a house vacuum. And now, I said, I think you're looking out for your sister in that one, because that's for sure. But, and those are not cheap. And yet, you know what? I just said thank you. He's probably watching, so thank you, Michael. We got it hooked up yesterday. And we're in our heart space. And I'm sure he's receiving as much joy knowing that it brings us joy. The givingness of life to itself. So again, our imagination, my point is us using the infinite imagination of God. It's not our mind and God's mind, it's just mind. It's truth, it's knowing, it's love. I think you're getting a call, Donnie. I was like, is that me? All right, I'm going to move on. I know we're running out of time. Ernest Holmes continues to say, we are surrounded by perfect life and poised in an eternal calm. We are in a sea of untroubled waters of life from which we may freely drink, holding the cup of acceptance until it is overflowing with the manifestations of our desires. This chalice of the heart is held up that the heavenly flow may fill it with God's abundant life. Woo. We each have that chalice. It's our heart. It's our heart space. And we have to consciously, as he says, choose. We have to accept the good that is already flowing to us and through us in our life. The last thing I want to point is, it came to me, the example. You might have heard it before. Oh, I do have a slide, I think. Yeah. In India, this is how they train elephants, with a tiny little rope. And most people would ask, well, obviously, if it wanted to, that elephant could break that tiny little rope. But what do? How do they do this, I should say? When the elephant is very, very, very small, they tie them up with a rope, okay, that it can't break. And then they never take it off. So what happens initially is the elephant tries and fails and tries and fails and tries and fails and finally quits. What do we call that in life? Conditioning, training. So eventually, this big adult elephant thinks that it's weak, that it's limited, that it can only go as far as that rope can. And that is obviously what we do to ourselves. We get conditioned when we're very young. We don't even have the ability to discern for ourselves what is good for us. And we believe in others, even if it is their greatest idea, then things change. But we live tethered. We live tied to our pain, to our failure, when the world is ours and filled with joy waiting for us to experience. So this isn't out of guilt. This is just another symbol of acknowledgement of this time of year, of maybe what needs to be released in our lives, right? That is the winter solstice coming up, right? The celebrations of Christmas, of Hanukkah, of many of the major religions all talk about the idea of why the light, because the light will burn off what is no longer needed. So let's make this a practice as well. The last thing I want to say on my point is, what came to me too is often, because we're afraid of change, we tend to think of holding on to our pain as like kindling that's going to give us energy and warmth and comfort. But all it really does is dampen that light inside of us, but we hold it. We don't let it go. We don't clear it out and bring in new, fresh kindling. And to me, our spiritual practices are that kindling. Our readings, our meditations, our prayer work, our volunteering, aligning ourselves with that heart space and the things that we speak, we think, we feel, and we do. Last quote of the day, and the last thing I want to share with you is Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith. Oh, wait. Sorry, I didn't have a slide for it because I wanted you to hear this. It's beautiful, it's short. He says, we don't open our hearts to let God in. We open our hearts to let God out. Because it's already here. So this is our affirmation for the week, already. So let us practice that. Would you please rise up? going to say it one time through. I let the fire, I'm going to say that with some water, 1 second. I let the fire of infinite love blaze in my heart. Let's take a breath. 3, 2, 1. I let the fire of infinite love blaze in my heart. All right, let's read that again and focus on and emphasize the word blaze. I let the fire of infinite love blaze in my heart. One more time. I let the fire of infinite love blaze in my heart. Yes, and so it is. So it is. Thank you. So, bringing this into prayer, I'm just going to conclude with recognizing that with Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith quote, we don't open our hearts to let God in. It is already here. All that we do are and is aligning and recognizing who we truly are. We are the divine. And recognizing in truth what we are. We are the divine in human form, having the experience. And we serve sacredly simply by choosing to live this life the best that we can. And so as we commune in this heart space and recognizing that it is already and always ablaze with spirit and divine love, we say thank you. We recognize that this divine spark is in every one, in every being, in all life. For it is simply our individual acknowledgement and recognition of what we call Christ consciousness, universal source, God, Spirit, Creator. All one, all happening right here and right now. We are choosing to use this power and presence consciously to first better ourselves and then share that. We give ourselves permission to dream, and we support others in their dreaming, recognizing that it is unlimited potentiality. We don't have to know the how. We release that. Like the little beings living in the stream, we release and we go with the flow, divine flow of love. And it is there and here and present for all to say yes to. We say yes to that flow now, into our lives, in and as us and through us, and yet we are one with it all. We know love in mind. We feel divine love in our hearts, and we recognize divine love everywhere it is expressed in our life. We are grateful, and so it is. Thank you.
So as we prepare for giving, we ought to do a song that reflects how we feel about giving, right? Sharing energy, shifting energy. So let's do this song. I'm sure you know it. Everybody say blessed, 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 blessed. Say blessed, 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 blessed. Lift your voice, if you mean it, say blessed, blessed, blessed. Say blessed, 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 blessed. Oh, we're blessed, say we're blessed in the city, we're blessed in the field. We're blessed when we come and when we go. We cast down false beliefs, sickness and poverty have ceased. For the truth has been revealed. We are blessed. We're blessed in the city. We're blessed in the field. We're blessed when we come and when we go. We cast down false beliefs, sickness and poverty have ceased. For the truth has been revealed. We are blessed, 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 blessed. I'll declare over my life that I'm blessed. Everybody sing blessed, 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 blessed. That's oh, we're singing. Yes, we are. Unless we become oh, sickness and for the truth has been revealed. Yeah. Oh, with blessed, when we come, when we go, we sickness and poverty have ceased, for the truth has been revealed. We are blessed, oh, from the morning to the midnight hour, it's working out for me. I'm asking for more, please, yes, yes, from the morning to the midnight, it's working out, I'm asking for more, please, say yes, yes, it's working out, it's working out, it's working out, say yeah, yes, it's working out. I don't have to worry about a thing. It's working out. Say yes, yes, it's working out. And I'm so glad about it. It's working out. Say yes, yes, it's working out. When I rose this morning, it's working out. Say yes, yes, it's working. Clap your hands and say, whoa. Feel that? We are blessed, yes? Thank you.
Yeah, I feel like we needed to shift the energy before we just kind of talk, prayed, and then gave. Because I want us to understand what we're giving to. One, we're recognizing the divine blessings that we already have and that we're giving to the purpose and vision of this community, which you are a divine part of. So the only way we grow is through contributions consciously, not just money, tithing, and your talent. So again, I want to thank all the volunteers, whether you're volunteering today or not, for our leadership corps, for our practitioners, for everyone behind the scenes, for you spreading the word of our beautiful community. That's what we're giving into when we take this time for our offering. So I'm just going to say thank you ahead of time. I know you could read. I know you know how to give. I'm just going to remind us that our giving bowl is over to the left. Your left, my right. There is an affirmation card there that I would like every one of you to take, giving and receiving. Practice it, pass it on when you're done. And I'm going to ask Donnie to continue with a little music while we give the offering. So thank you so much.
I'll go around. I want to trip over the
Okay, Charles, come on up. Oh, you know what? We're going to do a little something different today. Can you hit the slide? So we have a different slide. All right, so this is something I'm going to step over here for me, please. Slide that in there, we accept late welcomes. So instead of me just praying over for it, one of the things we did at a different center is we all prayed over it, knowing and recognizing the abundance and how it multiplies and goes exactly where it's needed. So we have now an offering affirmation. You have a question? Oh, okay. Yes, if you want hands out, some people feel a little weird about that. That's all right, whatever feels good for you. So we're going to say this together. Okay, take a look at it real quick. Practice it. All right, here we go. I am overflowing with love and abundance. I give from the source of my being, which is rich and unlimited. With joy and excitement, I share from this overflow. In return, the universe gives back to me in infinite ways, channels, and means, and so it is. Amen. Namaste. Thank you, Charles. All right. Are we ready for announcements? Thank you. Sue? May I help you? You're good? All right, man.
Just takes a minute. Okay, join us in 2 weeks, December 22nd. That'll be just a couple of days before Christmas. So let's get together and share the spirit of that meeting. Reverend Rachel Dilling will be our speaker that day. I'm a practitioner. Bill is a practitioner. We're the only two here today. And we welcome your prayer requests, whether you come in through email, go to the website and look at the pictures, and any of us can be contacted, and then we share the prayers as a group. We'll be available after the meeting if you want to meet in the corner for prayer. We're going to have a fun time on solstice. The 21st is Saturday at 4 o'clock, 4 to 6. We're meeting at the Kayenta Labyrinth and walking the labyrinth. If you want to share drives, get together with other people. Is anyone here willing to drive other people? Look around. Okay, there's a couple there that you could call Anna, Marina, and Laura, willing to help share rides. I know it gets dark by 6 o'clock and I have problems and can't drive at night, so that helps to have other people to help us. And there isn't much parking right at the labyrinth. We'll park across the street in the Kayenta parking. And so someone will be there if you want to get a ride to the labyrinth from the parking lot. Because we ask you if you want to bring a chair that's more comfortable. They have benches around the labyrinth, but you might want your own camping chair. Bring a chair, dress warm, and bring some kind of a light source. A candle that's battery run, a little lantern, something that we can't have fire there, but bring a little light source. And we're gonna have a beautiful ceremony. We're gonna let go of the things that no longer serve us and start the new year with all that garbage cleared away and start fresh and clear. So it'll be a really nice time to meet together. Please join us. After service today, our volunteers have helped to put out our snacks. We do welcome anything that people want to bring. Maybe bring a Christmas tree, cookies or something next time to share, as it'll be a fun gathering. We appreciate those that serve. We have a list on the table. It's the bright green list, and we need help. If you've noticed the absence of Gwen, she has retired from some of the things that she's been doing. Many years, over 10 years of service. Nearly every time we meet, she would be in charge of so much. And so she's taking a little rest, and we need some helpers to help fill in that void. So please take your turn, and you don't have to serve every time. You can sign up and we'll call, or you offer for when you'd like to help with serving food or helping to set up or put things away. Writing letters, newsletters like Marina and I and the practitioners and the ministers take our turns. But if there's ever anything you want to do or say, we really welcome your volunteering. And the core council, especially next March, my 6-year term will be over, 2 terms. And you can volunteer for a 3-year term, and then you can re-sign up for the next 3 years, and then you have to take some forced time off. But I will be here in my power as a practitioner. But please think about giving that service on the court council. No Zoom today, for those of you that are watching online. We're so glad that we have people still out there in the ethers watching these beautiful services. So we won't be meeting in person as we usually do after the meeting. Okay, our upcoming Sundays, as you can see there, Reverend Joe on the 15th, and on the 22nd is Reverend Rachel. And music, is that it? Anybody have anything to add for the solstice or?
We're gonna do some drumming afterwards, so.
Oh, right, your drum. I
Drum
knew
or
there were 3
instruments.
things: your chair, your drum, and your cat candlelight. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Anna.
We're just gonna do a little bit more of this song. Say blessed, blessed, say blessed, blessed, say blessed, blessed. Oh, we're blessed, say we're blessed in the city, we're blessed in the field, we're blessed when we come and when we go. We cast down false beliefs, sickness and poverty have ceased. For the truth has been revealed. We are blessed. One more time, we're blessed in the city. We're blessed in the field. We're blessed when we come and when we go. We cast down false beliefs. Sickness and poverty have ceased. For the truth has been revealed. We are blessed.
It's working out, Donnie.
You want to do that?
Yeah, it's working out.
Okay, let's go. Oh, say from the morning to the midnight hour, it's working out for me. I'm asking for more, please. Yes, yes, from the morning to the midnight hour, it's working out for me. I'm asking for more, please. Yes, it's working out. Say it's working out.
It's working out.
Just for my good.
It's working out.
Say yes, yes, it's working.
It's working out.
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 Oh, one more time, tell somebody it's working.
It's working out.
It's working out.
It's working out.
Everything.
It's working out.
Say yes, yes, it's working out.
It's working out.
It's working out.
It's working out.
It's working out. Yes. Oh.
Have a blessed week, everyone. And living on our space. Thank you, online, Bill, volunteers. See you next week.